All right. Welcome, DoorGrow hackers, to the DoorGrow Show. If you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to add doors, increase revenue, make a difference, help others, impact lives, and you're interested in growing your business and life, and you are open to doing things a bit differently, then you are a DoorGrow hacker. DoorGrow hackers love the opportunities, daily variety, unique challenges, and freedom that property management brings. Many in real estate think you're crazy for doing it. You think they're crazy for not, because you realize that property management is the ultimate high trust gateway to real estate deals, relationships, and residual income. At DoorGrow, we are on a mission to transform property management businesses and their owners. We want to transform the industry, eliminate the BS, build awareness, change perception, expand the market, and help the best property management entrepreneurs win. I'm your host, property management growth expert Jason Hull, the founder and CEO of DoorGrow. Now let's get into the show. And my guest today is Cliff Hayden. And Cliff is from a tool called, what's your tool called, Cliff?
ShowMeTheRental.com.
Show Me the Rental. All right. So Cliff, let's get into your background. Tell us a little bit about how you sort of got into this and so people get familiar with you a little bit.
Okay, so I got into this out of necessity. Hold on one second. My volume's all messing up on me. Can you hear me better now?
You sound fine.
Okay, so I got into Show Me the Rental to save my marriage, actually, and my family life. So I worked at AT&T in my real job when I first started in this business, and I was a outside plant technician, which was a fancy word for a lineman. And so I worked bucket trucks and put up telephone lines everywhere. And on the side, I did real estate. And Jason, I apologize, but I got Can you hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my speakers.
Are you hearing two of me or something?
What's that?
Are you hearing yourself?
Yeah, it's like an echo.
Yeah, you've got two windows open of this same window. So close all other windows down besides this one.
All right, can you hear me now?
Tab. Yeah, I hear you fine.
Much better. You're so smart. Thank you, sir.
I'm a nerd. All right, let's get into it. So yeah,
okay.
Give us the background.
So that's my background. So I was an outside plant technician for AT&T. I always wanted something more. And so I got into real estate. I actually, you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Mm-hmm. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So my brother-in-law was in, and my sister came back from Iraq, and they brought home a game called Cash Flow. So I can remember sitting at the dining room table playing Cash Flow, and I didn't understand that you could buy assets and buy rental houses and people would pay you and you could make money off of it. And that's how green I was when I first started. I knew absolutely nothing. And so from playing that game, I actually signed up for a mentorship through Robert Kiyosaki, and they helped me buy my first duplex. Ended up being a horrible deal. It was bad, but it all worked out because in that whole process of getting a loan on it and learning what I was doing, I found our local real estate club called CREA. So I started going to local meetings, and I met a mentor, a guy named Mike Butler, who took me under his wing and kind of showed me the ropes of real estate and made sure I didn't fall on my face. And so he was a big part of my success. So from there, I worked a full-time job, then started buying rentals on the side. And the long story short, I just started making enough money to quit my job. Now, cool story that I like to tell is I do hold the longest suspension in AT&T history. And so what I did was I come from a lower middle class family, and I didn't want to quit my job in real estate full time. It was a very high paying job for us and very good job for my family. And so I just didn't want to up and quit. So I got suspended on purpose. And what I did is, as a lineman, you had to have a CDL license, and they random drug test you. And so they did pop me a random drug test, and I decided I didn't want to take it, which is an automatic fail. And so then they suspended me. And so I took that suspension and turned it into 4.5 months. And in the meantime, in the first month of my suspension, I made my whole salary at AT&T doing real estate full time. Wow. And so then I kind of drug it out, and then I decided to quit my job and do real estate full time, which was awesome because I was my own boss. I had a lot of fun in the beginning, but my priorities were all mixed up. So when I first started, my priority was money was the goal. And so what the problems that I had was all I focused on was money and buying houses and doing everything I could to get money because I thought that was going to make me happy. What it did is I became financially successful, but my home life was a wreck. And so I would come home, and I have 5 children, by the way. I'm happily married with 5 children, and so I would work all day, come home, and continue to work. I couldn't turn it off, and it was causing a lot of problems, and causing a lot of problems at home. And the biggest problems at home is when I would come home and eat dinner, my phone, I would get text messages, phone calls, emails, because at any given time we would have 3 or 4 empty rental houses, and so all these leads would start coming in, and my wife would just get, I call it Superman vision. So she had those laser that look on me where she could shoot lasers out of her eyes, she would. And so it caused a lot of friction at home, a lot of problems. And I decided there's got to be a systems I could start putting in place to make this funner, to make this job smoother, and to kind of get my life back, because I was just working all the time. I didn't see my family. I didn't see my friends. I didn't have any more friends because I was doing nothing but working all the time. And so I went out, I started putting systems together. And one of the systems I wanted was lead screening for tenants, because that was our biggest headache. When we got empty houses in our town, nothing to get 100 phone calls and emails a day. And there's no possible way to keep up with those without a system in place. Mm-hmm. And so I went out and tried to find a system, and I couldn't find anything I liked or anything with a good price point that I liked. And so that's where we created Show Me the Rental. And what we did with Show Me the Rental is took all the problems we were having and created a system for it, and then automated it. And so what Show Me the Rental does is it's basically an online system that advertises, generates leads, pre-screens those leads, and then automates the showings and turns those leads into applications. We do all this automatically and with a few clicks of a button, and at a price point that I think is incredible. So for $49, you can put it in our system, and it's on there till it's rented. And so that's kind of how I got in real estate. And I started over the last, I would say 6 or 7 years, I started changing my priorities to kind of live a more abundant life. So now money is a tool and not the goal. That's kind of the biggest change I've had over the last several years. Mm-hmm. And now I don't miss any field trips. We kind of switched our whole business around and put systems in place so I can be mobile. And that's our new goal now. And with the technology out there that's out there now and the systems in place, if you just take the time to do it, it's not very hard to do. And so now with all our kids, we travel every summer. This year we went to Colorado for a month, and then stopped at St. Louis and Branson, Missouri, and we just got back from Pigeon Forge. So we have systems in place now to run our company so we can be mobile, and I can do what's important, which is making sure my kids are good, happy, productive citizens. So that's kind of my quick story.
So so tell us more about Show Me the Rental. So it sounds like this service is, it sounds like a lot of your clients are individual investors. A lot of investors can use this. They can put in their one property when they need to make sure it gets rented, and it deals with all these tenant leads and helps kind of systemize the process so they're not overwhelmed, and it filters out some of the riffraff and the time wasting. So
correct.
Maybe you could explain sort of the process of, once somebody gets into your system and they sign up, take us through like what sort of happens.
And I'll tell you our situation. So our situation was when we would have leads coming in, we would always find ourselves asking the same questions over and over, which were, are you on Section 8? Will you sign a 3-year lease? How much money is in your bank account? How long have you been on your job? Simple questions we wanted answered to get them to qualify to go see our houses or to rent our houses. Mm-hmm. And so what we did is we generated a list of around 40 questions that we use and that we think other property managers like you all would use to kind of just think of a big funnel, take a big funnel of people and just kind of get them down to that, take that 100 or 200, get it down to that 15 or 20 really qualified leads that get access to go view your house. So you're not wasting your time. And more importantly, what we learned is tenants get pretty upset going to look at houses they're not qualified to go see. And so they fall in love with the house only to find out they don't qualify income-wise. You don't take Section 8. They don't want to sign a 3-year lease. So we kind of set it up for them also, so they have a system where they know that if they don't lie on their questions and tell the truth, that they have a great opportunity to get this house. It could be theirs. And so we kind of mesh that together so everybody can be happy. And
so
that's
really, it reverses the issue that, a lot of times what'll happen is tenants apply for a bunch of properties. Renters will apply for a bunch of properties in hopes that they'll get one, and they aren't taking a look at the income requirements. They aren't, none of these things are filtered when you're looking at like Zillow rentals or wherever they're looking to find a property. They're just they're just going, "Ooh, I like this one. This looks great." And they're not really aware of what they would qualify for. And so, yeah, they're getting really frustrated. They're wasting a lot of time. And
Correct.
really, it doesn't take a whole lot for somebody to get frustrated. You go look at a couple of properties that you like and find out you don't qualify. You can, you start to get pretty upset and annoyed, I'm sure, as a renter. And so, yeah, that would be really challenging.
Yes, and they're our customers. I call them customers. And so,
Mm-hmm.
just like any business, you want your customers to be happy. You don't want to start them off on the wrong foot. I want to set the expectations up front about our policies and procedures so they know going into it what we expect from them and then what they expect from us. And so it just kind of streams on that system so much better than what we did before. So this way, we're not wasting our time and we're collecting all their information. And we can go into that. It's hard to go over with on a podcast, but we can, if your guests want to check out showmetherental.com, it shows you, we collect all the lead information. We actually have a cross-reference database that if they don't qualify for my property, but you're in our system and they qualify for your property, Jason, it'll send them over to you. So it kind of lets the tenants, we have a system where it'll send the tenant when properties pop in our system that they qualify for, to automatically send it to them. So they know based on the profile they filled out and the pre-screening questions they answer that they're qualified to go see that house. And so I think that's important. And the tenants really like it because you said it best. It's just such a headache to go to 20 houses to know you're not qualified you're only qualified to rent 2 of them. And
Right.
so, and I think a lot of people miss that because I think we need to take care of our customer because they're our business. If we don't take care of them, we don't really have a business. And so if we can get those good customers in there and spread that word of mouth and get them to know about us, it makes our lives a lot easier.
Okay. So, what else? What are some of the common questions that a homeowner or an investor or maybe even a property manager will usually ask you about Show Me the Rental?
A lot of times it's, I don't know the common questions. The biggest one we get is what websites do we advertise on?
Okay.
And so we do all the major websites, Zillow, which is always number one, Facebook Marketplace. So we just syndicated with Zumper, Trulia, HotPads, Rent Leads, all the major websites. So we advertise on every major website. And so how this system works is when you put it on the website through our system, it goes into our system. So instead of them contacting you, they're going to contact our system, which they can contact us via phone, via email, and via phone number. And each specific city has their own phone number. And however they contact us, and usually anymore, 90% is through email. And so when they go in Zillow and see your property, want to look at it, they'll inquire about it. And then we will send them through Show Me the Rental a link of your pre-screening questions. And then from there, they'll answer that question. If they answer those questions correctly, we will then send them showing instructions based on your preference. We have 5 different ways to show the property. Once they look at the property, we will send them a link for an online application. We provide one, but we recommend if you have your own, you can just put your own application link in our system, and then it'll send them to your application because we use a software company called Buildium, and I want everything in Buildium, so I have all the stuff already entered.
Yeah.
And then from there, we have our screening service. We screen. We don't offer the service. We have in our in-house. We then screen the tenant and get all the information we need from them, and we take it from there. So
so you're not just helping pre-screen, but you're also fielding. You're fielding the phone calls. You really are this barrier between the prospective tenants and the homeowner or property manager.
Yeah. To me, we're the BS part of it. We kind of help fix the problem, the BS part of management, which is pre-screening leads. I think that is the most cumbersome, time-consuming part of our business.
It's a huge time waste.
Yes, huge time waste.
Yes. And and it really it just costs a business's money. It doesn't make an investor or a property manager money in general. It's just, it's like kind of the garbage of phone calls. How many square feet are on this property that I'm looking at right now where it says the square feet on the property, these kind of calls. Yeah. Yep. So you guys will handle the phone calls and
the system does,
or
correct.
Emails or all of this kind of stuff. Okay.
Everything. Yes. It's all automated.
Cool. Okay, cool. And you do it on a per property basis. What about a property manager that has like a lot of properties or an investor that has a lot of properties?
So what do you consider a lot? So to me, a lot is a couple
100.
hundred. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So with those, if you have multiple properties, we'll work out discount prices for you. It's all kind of, there's no, I guess, a gray area. There's no set fees, but if you have multiple properties on there multiple times, we'll work out deals with you. But most of the time it's people like me who have, 30 something properties, and we have pretty nice properties now. We kind of sold off all our pain in the ass houses. So we might have, out of those properties every year, we have probably 2, maybe 3 turnovers. So I like it. This is more built towards kind of smaller mom and pop. Of course we do take on all the bigger ones, but it's more of, you got 2 or 3 rentals a year. If you do have multiple ones, then we'll work with you on prices and kind of make sure everybody's happy. So my big goal is to get people their time back. Cause I know it changed my life when I started kind of living life more and stopped worrying about all the money all the time, and just started being home and being present with my family and with my kids and being more involved. So that's kind of our big goal, is just to help. And you can't get your time back. That's what I tell everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You can buy time though.
You can.
Yes. So, all right. So, and so the residents' experience going through this, what's their experience?
So what they'll do when they log on to the site, their view is a map of whatever city they're in, and it'll show different properties. And then what we try to do when we market, when they go in, they got to sign up with their phone number, email, and name. And then we're going to send them, try to get them a profile filled out before they even go into a house. So we're going to get a profile filled out of all the questions we have, and then we're going to match it up with the properties. If they don't go that route and say they find it on Zillow, like I said earlier, then from there, they'll just get on Zillow, find the house, inquire about it, and they'll answer the pre-screening questions from there. And then if they qualify, they get to see the house. If they don't, it just tells them they're not qualified to go see the house.
Got it. So it just kind of kills it there.
Just kills it there, so you ain't got to talk to him. And you seem like a nice guy like I am, and I don't know how many times you've been on the phone and you got to tell them, talk to them for 15 or 20 minutes, or they go on for 15 or 20 minutes, and you don't want to hang up because you want to be nice, and it's just a complete waste of, it's just a headache. So that it takes care of that headache. If managers had that conversation, I know all of them have, all those conversations are gone, which is a big blessing.
One phone call, is probably 10, 15 minutes, because they're gonna, you have to have a nice intro on the call, and you have to be cordial, and they're gonna have some questions and you want to answer those questions, and then you need to figure out how to end and get off this call in a nice fashion. And so it eats up a huge chunk of time.
Huge chunk.
Yeah. So, and then if it's a nice property and it's in a nice area and it's priced appropriately, you're going to get a lot of these phone calls, and it can be pretty cumbersome and overwhelming if you're trying to just, enjoy your day and have a day job or do something besides have this part-time business of managing a property. So
yes, correct.
This one property. So, and if you have multiple, it becomes even more crazy. So real quickly. So, okay. So, so this is something that maybe property managers could use. Really, it's kind of a piecemeal sort of service. It's like, hey, I need it for this property, maybe not for this one, and they can use it as needed, and maybe as something supplemental to the other stuff they have going on, like through Buildium or the
correct
management software.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. So, well, Cliff, is there anything else people should know about Show Me the Rental before I let you go? And if not, tell us how everybody can get in touch with you and find out more.
So no, the only thing I ask is just give us a try, check it out. Hopefully you like it. It's been a huge game changer for us. Like I said earlier, I can now, when I come home from work, I'm actually home now. I'm not working all the time. I'm not answering phone calls. So I just say give it a try, see if you like it. I think you will. As far as contacting me, you can reach me anytime. My email is cliff at showmetherental.com. And then you can call me if you got any questions, if I can help you. I do answer my phones only between 12 and 1 and 4 and 5. So if you call outside of that, I'll try to call you back the next day. You can reach me at 502-641-8781. Again, that's 502-641-8781.
Perfect, Cliff. I appreciate you coming on the DoorGrow show. It was great to have you, and everybody check out showmethe.com.
Jason, I appreciate your help. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, cool. I appreciate Cliff coming on the show. So if you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to grow your business, one thing you may want to take a look at that I haven't mentioned in a little bit is take a look at your website. If your website's been around for 2 to 3 years, or longer. That's the typical lifespan of a website or a design. And it may be starting to look stale, which creates a perception about your business. Once it gets to about 5 years old, it starts to get a little bit painful. It's a little bit embarrassing and it looks a little bit outdated. It looks probably outdated. And the reality is, most of our competitors, when it comes to website design, a lot of their designs were designed 2 to 3 years ago. And so the challenge is you're getting a website sometimes out of the box that's already design wise behind and outdated. And so make sure and go and test your website out by going to doorgrow.com/quiz. You go to doorgrow.com/quiz, test your property management website, take the quiz. It'll help you see how effective it is at creating leads, generating business, capturing and creating trust, and capturing and converting people that are visiting on the site. It's really all about trust instead of just trying to manipulate Google and get to the top of Google, right? I'll just point out that the reality is that search volume for property management, according to Google Trends, you can go to trends.google.com and put in property management, backdate it, filter it for the US and backdate it to 2004 to the present. And search volume for property management is low. It's small. You can compare it to any other term and see this. And it really hasn't grown since 2004. In fact, it slightly peaked in 2011, around July, the summer, when property management search volume peaks each summer, but it's been on a steady decline since 2011, a steady decline. There's less people searching. And not only that, but competition has gone through the roof since 2011. Competition has been increasing. This is what everybody's pushing everyone to do. This is the game everybody's playing, is trying to manipulate SEO and search engine marketing and pay per click and Google ads. And the reality is search volume has been on a decline. It's going down while competition's going up. So it's created this false scarcity in the industry. So I'd love for you to escape that. There's no scarcity in property management. 70% are self-managing their own properties right now. There's tons of blue ocean. They have problems. They have stress. But they're not looking on Google in general. And so if you can identify them, capture them, and you have a website that creates and builds trust, and your sales process is optimized for trust, you're going to be the company that they work with. And we want to help you optimize trust in your business and clean up and shore up all the leaks in your sales pipeline. So reach out to DoorGrow. We can help you with a website, and we can help you with your sales process, your pricing strategy, all the things that affect your ability to close deals. We can help you clean all that up and make your business far more effective at capturing business and going after that blue ocean where 70% are self-managing. So check us out at doorgrow.com. So until next time, everybody, to our mutual growth. Bye, everybody.